When you're living abroad, there's always something that reminds you of home. A piece of music, a smell, a familiar voice, a special meal. Taste Like Home is all about learning these family recipes and helping your loved ones recreate them wherever they are.
Every week on Taste Like Home, I travel to somewhere in Ireland to discover a family recipe. This week, my journey starts in the stunning National Stud in Kildare, where I'm going to meet Grainne.
Hiya, Grainne.
Hi, Catherine. How are you?
Great, thank you. So what's the connection with the National Stud?
I came here in 1984 to do the course in stud management here at the National Stud.
Yeah.
And I had just qualified as a nurse and I got the opportunity to come and do the course. So I seized the opportunity and that's where I met my husband, Peter.
Here at the National Stud, on the course?
He had come over from California to do the same course. So we met and we fell in love and we got married the following year after we finished the course.
And presumably got into the horse breeding or horse training industry?
Yeah, the horse breeding. He actually trained for a while on the Curragh after we finished up here, and now he's breeding horses in Jeju Island and in Korea.
In Korea?
Yeah.
So your husband's the person who's abroad?
Yeah, and my daughter's
Wow.
is in Seoul as well. She's working there.
Two of
So
your
I've got the
family
two
in
of them
Korea?
there. Yeah.
And you wouldn't move there?
No, no, I don't think so. It's nice to go and visit and
beautiful
work
here,
for a
though.
while. It is
Yeah.
beautiful.
You must absolutely love coming back here, do you?
I do. It's a lovely spot to come to. The horses are lovely. It's a lovely place to feed them.
And these are the celebrity horses, aren't they?
Yeah, this is beef or salmon. I think that's
Wow!
where I can fly.
I have to pet beef or salmon. Whoop. Right, will you let me pet you? You will. You will. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So this time we are bringing a family recipe all the way from County Kildare to Grainne's husband Peter and daughter Alana in Jeju Island, South Korea.
So who have we got here?
So this is Alana. She's the girl who's in Seoul with KBS. And then this is Cassie. She works in Dublin in an events management company.
Is this Peter?
That's Peter. He was wearing this. This is a scarf. Because it was such a big race, they were all presented with scarves. And red is a lucky colour in Korea. And then this was, these are the traditional Korean handbooks. I think every Korean girl or woman has one for special occasions.
That's such a pretty photograph.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Very special. Like, does Peter have many Korean friends?
Yeah, we have some really nice Korean friends.
Let's find out what sort of food Peter and Alana miss.
Peter really misses anything that can be roasted. I do stuffed roasted pork wrapped in streaky bacon.
Oh my goodness, you can't get more traditional. That's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
To begin, finely dice a red onion. Add to a pan with a little oil and soften. Then chop a handful of chestnuts and a handful of apricots.
So is Peter a keen home cook?
He actually really enjoys cooking. I think it helps him wind down at the end of the day. But food is a big part of Koreans' lives, and they don't sit down so much like we would and have a conversation after with a coffee and a dessert. They kind of eat their main course and then they would head off to a coffee shop. We often get stared at because we're there, for a lot longer than they expect us to be there.
Everyone, what's your problem?
Yeah.
Why won't you leave?
Yeah, exactly.
Add the apricots, chestnuts and softened onions to breadcrumbs, along with herbs like parsley and thyme. Pour over some melted butter and mix it all together.
Gee, that looks really nice with the red onion and
It's
the
nice
yellow
colour, yeah.
colours, and then you've got your gorgeous vibrancy from the herbs.
Butterfly 2 pork steaks. Lay one of the steaks flat on the board, season with salt and pepper, and then cover with the stuffing. Place the second steak on top and then wrap it all up in streaky bacon.
That is very substantial.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
that
It's
will
a
feed a lot
great
of
roast.
people. Yeah, probably this will need about an hour, covered in tin foil, and then I just remove the tin foil and let the bacon go nice and crispy.
For the accompanying apple sauce, peel and dice your apples. Put them in a bowl, add some cold water and cover with kitchen paper. Grainne likes to cook her sauce in the microwave. Once cooked, add sugar to taste and stir well. Grainne's apricot and chestnut stuffed pork fillets, wrapped in bacon, is served with applesauce, root vegetable mash and roast potatoes. Some of her friends have arrived, so all that remains is to have a taste.
Okay, everybody, hope you enjoy your meal.
Looks delicious. So has Grainne always been a great cook?
Yeah, she has, yeah. It's always a treat coming to Grainne's for dinner. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good tip, Grainne, about using 2 separate fillets. So you don't, instead of having to cut it and stuff it.
Grainne, don't tell them anything else. Hold it for your next cookbook.
Well, we might find
more
you
tips.
might be using it in one of your cookery demonstrations. You might.
I might there. Telling you, next time I'm back in Kildare.
So, Grainne, have you a message for Peter?
Peter, I hope when Catherine comes over with the team, I hope you'll enjoy the meal she'll prepare for you. It'll be a little taste from home, and she'll bring it with all my love. So hope you enjoy it.
And I'll teach him how to do it so that he can make it for you when you're out there.
Yeah, good idea.
Good idea.
That pork dish was delicious. The stuffing was so tasty and it was perfectly seasoned. And I'm so looking forward to going to South Korea. It's a place I've never been, so it's going to be a really exciting trip.
It takes almost 24 hours to reach Jeju Island, but the trip can easily be broken up with a stay in the ancient and yet ultra-modern city, Seoul. A short flight from Seoul to Jeju Island, and once I arrived, it seemed somewhat familiar.
There's stone walls, ditches, green fields. It's quite like Ireland in some ways. But this, apparently here, this says Pegasus. This is Peter's domain, and I'm off to find him. Hi, Peter.
만나서 반갑습니다.
I hope that means you're happy to see me.
It's Korean for welcome. I'm so happy to see you.
So what's the statue at the entrance?
Oh, the Tol Harabang. Tol Harabang is unique to Jeju-do. It means stone grandfather, and it's a unique symbol of Jeju. It's dating back hundreds, if not thousands of years.
So is one of these beef or salmon or the equivalent?
God, in the future, I hope so. I apologize for the muck, but this is the Changma, which is the rainy season.
Changma.
Generally, it's sort of late May, can be as late as August, and we get torrential rain. Well, it was raining today, the temperature was as high as 30 degrees. So it's more like a steam bath than a rain shower, really.
And
So-
is there good grass here for the animals?
We have great fodder here from March until May. We use an Italian ryegrass, but after that you can see that the grass is completely denuded. So I import hay from Canada for the rest of the year.
What? There are Irish farmers watching at this point going, happy days. I'm sure you take Irish hay. Go on.
I'd
load
love
a bit.
to. I'm lucky enough to have some lovely paddocks at home. And when I'm home, I look at it and think it's such a waste. I wish I could move my Korean horses to the Irish paddocks, but I can't.
And is the racing all over Korea, or is it further? Do you sell it even further beyond?
No, most of the horses produced in Korea are sold for domestic racing. In fact, all of them, because the prize money is so good.
Oh, is it?
We're the envy of the world. To give you some context, America has about 260 racetracks, and they do about $15–16 billion a year. We have 3, and we do $7 billion a year. So it's the only legal form of gambling in Korea. Now, these horses are for sale if you want to take a punt on a Korean horse.
I'll swap you for a bit of hay.
Bit of hay, how much?
A couple of square bales.
Hold on a second. Let me just get out my calculator here. I'm sure we can arrive at something.
Jeju has something for everyone, from the bustling racecourse complete with children's play area to beautiful Buddhist temples. But for me, it's all about the food. And first up, Peter's brought me to his favourite seafood restaurant for something very fresh and really quite special.
So what do you think of this for a simple afternoon meal?
Simple.
Yeah.
It's an absolute feast.
Yeah.
But where do you start?
You start at the beginning, and most Korean meals would have something called banchan, which are these side dishes. So we have pickled garlic, some crab that are cooked here, little crab, which you eat in their entirety. And next to that, you have raw crab, which are like a ceviche. We have white kimchi.
I see there's different types of seaweed.
Now, there's 2 types of seaweed here, and I'm told by the proprietor here that they're the epitome of good health. If you want to enjoy good health, you have to eat these 2 things. And Koreans, in all of their dishes, are very conscious of what benefit they can get from eating that particular food. Food is almost a religion here. Korea is a famine economy, and Korean people have known absolute deprivation. And food is one of the great joys they get in their life. So they revel in every moment of eating. Now, let's be brave this is a first for me. Get this toothpick and dig this little fella out of here. Not something I would do on a regular basis. That doesn't look too bad.
Okay, well, if you've tried one of these, I'm going to try
You
one.
go on.
I'm not going to leave you to do that on your own. Okay, so you pull them out.
Yeah.
They're definitely cooked now, Peter, are they?
Sure. Absolutely, they're cooked.
You just sounded so
No,
doubtful
go on.
there.
No, well, actually, I'm not sure if they're cooked or not, but I don't know if you're studiously avoiding this for a reason or you're just saving it for last, but you haven't eaten one of these crabs yet.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. And
And I'm busy at the moment eating
Oh,
something
well.
else.
I'll wait.
And I'll be very busy for a long time.
Well, we'll wait. Okay, listen, we'll do it together. Now this will be a first
Of
for me.
all of the things.
It's got a sweet taste. No, come on, that's no problem.
So how would you say thank you? Because I really want to say thank you to the chef and his wife who prepared this wonderful
It
spread.
depends who you're talking. In Korea, we have panmal, which is conversations between friends, and then nopimal, a higher form. And as we don't know him well, and he is the owner of the restaurant, we'd use an honorific, 감사합니다. Or if I was with friends, I might say 고맙다 or 고마워요, 고마워요. But as we don't know, we would say 고맙습니다. 갑자기.
고맙습니다.
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 Yeah.
I hope that said thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, Hugh.
Sunrise Peak in Jeju is one of the new 7 wonders of nature, where you can climb thousands of steps for stunning views of the island. And in the cove beside the peak, there's a chance to watch some astonishing Korean pensioners at work.
This is a real treat for us now. Historically, Haenyeo were, when their husbands were away, either at war or farming or fishing, they provided the livelihood for the family.
Right.
And it was by diving, free diving. They didn't use air, no air tanks, it was free diving. And these women supported their families. They're unique to Jeju-do. And now they've collected these sea urchins. Ajima, she got these today, these sea urchins.
Sea urchins, yeah.
Yeah. 이거 아파요?
아파요.
터치하면 아팠습니다.
찌르면 아파요.
Yeah, she says it can be painful. Yeah.
Hey, oh, yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
And how old is the oldest diver, the oldest Haenyeo?
87.
87.
87. Yeah. 87
Oh
years of
my
age.
goodness.
Yeah.
That is some age, isn't it?
아가씨, 그럼 몇 살입니까?
저요?
Yeah.
64세.
64세. She's 64 years of age.
Wow.
Yeah. The cultural significance of what they do has been UNESCO designated. I'm just fascinated the way she does this. 그거 동안 볼 수 있어요.
맛있어요.
예.
한번 맛보실래요?
맛있어요.
네, 맛있어요.
우리 친구도 먹고 싶어요. Yeah.
날 걸로 먹으면
Yeah.
미역국 끓이면
Very
정말
sweet.
맛있고
Yeah.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
또 끓여 먹고
너무 감사합니다. 시간 되면 진짜 감사합니다.
Bye-bye.
감사합니다.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's time to pick up some of the things I need to prepare the meal for Peter and his friends later this evening. With almost anything you can imagine under one roof, this is one of the most amazing markets I've ever visited.
So here we are at the 5-day market. It's called the Oyeojang, and they call it the 5-day market because it happens on every 5th day. So in this particular 5-day market, and there are 2 of them in Jeju-do, they're open on days that have a 2 and a 7. So the 2nd, the 7th, the 12th. And I'm delighted to say my daughter Alana has come down from Seoul and she's going to meet us here.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Alana.
Nice
How
to meet
are
you.
you? Lovely to meet you.
too.
So this is your regular haunt?
Yeah, this is where
when
I
you're
do
back
the
here.
shopping. Yeah.
Was there anything in particular you were looking for here? Now?
Yes, I was hoping to get some Hallabong oranges.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know a place just down this way if you
Yeah.
follow me. Yeah. They're the sweetest orange and the most expensive. And they call them a halabang because the dome on the top, they're shaped like Halasan or a volcano. And here they are here. They're very tasty and they're very expensive. From outward appearances, you wouldn't be rushing to buy them or eat them, but inside they're incredibly sweet and juicy.
Yeah.
I see here something that will give us a really good idea of what Korean kimchi, the most
Okay.
well-known and traditional food in Korea, is all about. And look at the panoply of food there now.
See, this is the thing, back home we think kimchi's just one thing.
Oh no, kimchi.
And there's hundreds of varieties of it.
Kimchi is the way they prepare it, basically. It's how they preserved food, and they used to preserve kimchi in clay pots. And what you can see, the common factor in all this is that red pepper paste they make. So what he takes is a cabbage, and he peels back each leaf. And you can see he marinates. Yeah, there's mixed onions in it.
So it's just chili paste, fermented fish, spring onions, and then the Chinese leaves, and you separate out the leaves and you rub that in, and then you leave it for how long?
언제까지 쉬합니까? 3 days.
3 days.
Okay.
3 days?
3 days later, yeah.
Okay, and then do you have it with every meal? Do you have it for breakfast? Do you have it for lunch? Do you have it for dinner?
아침, 점심, 저녁 같이 먹어요?
네, 그렇죠. 한국 사람들은 늘 주식으로만 같이.
Every meal.
Every meal?
Korean people would eat that 3 times a day.
There really is so much to do here, from beautiful waterfalls and heritage villages where you can learn about the traditional Jeju way of life to something that looks a lot like the Giant's Causeway back home. One of the most interesting sites was the S02E01 Tea Museum, where we learned all about the peculiarities of preparing the perfect cup of green tea. Although I was relying on a slightly dubious translator to understand what was really going on.
So we exchange you give me your left one and I'll give you my left one. We'll cross over and we kiss as we do it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I'm sure she didn't say that.
Yeah. She intimated that. There was something I think this sign in Korea is similar to that. I'm sure we'll let that go.
The Tea Museum is a working plantation and one of the busiest tourist attractions in Korea.
The spring is collected by hand, isn't that right?
Yes.
By the ladies.
And it's a smaller yield. I understand it's a smaller yield. Only 20% of the total you get in the first hand picking. Does a tea plant have a flower, or is it only the
Flower in bloom in autumn.
in the autumn?
Yes.
And is that part of the tea? Do you use the flower?
We can make perfumes.
So you use the flower for the perfume.
Yeah, and so make green cosmetics.
Oh, cosmetics.
Yes. It's good for whitening effect, so it has a lot of vitamin C.
For whitening?
Green for whitening.
It's no good to me. No. No. I need the tan now.
Yeah.
No, that's no good.
Yeah.
I'll take it for weight loss. That's as far as it goes.
Yeah.
Don't need whitening.
Korea is proud of its traditions, and one of Peter and Alana's favourites is the unique way of cooking and dining that you experience in a Korean barbecue restaurant.
Tatinel. Yeah. So they've brought in something called soot, which is charcoal, and it's smokeless coal, I think. If a Jeju restaurant serves pork, they can only buy pork from Jeju farms. They cannot import pork from any other part of Korea or any other country. So all of the meat we have here, and we have 2 different kinds. Ogyapsal, this is untreated meat here, and this is yangnyeom kalbi. Yangnyeom is a marinade.
Samgyeopsal or Ogyapsal. Sam means 3 and O means 5. So they're talking about like the marbling. So this is Ogyapsal, so it should have like 5 lines of fat. You should be able to count.
And I see they've cut through it a little bit as well. So they've sliced through it
more
to speed up the cooking
and then
process.
you can cut it more easily as well.
This is huktaeji, black taeji. Years ago, there was something in Korea, and I'll show you. Don't be alarmed then. Something called dongtaeji. If you look at this picture here, you'll see a young boy sitting on what is obviously an outdoor loo.
Yeah.
So all Korean homes in the country, the loos were outdoors.
Right.
And when nature called the family, they were compelled to go outside, and the loo was positioned above the pigsty. So our meal would feed theirs. If I'm trying to be delicate, so you understand
You
the point
tell me
I'm
that,
trying
and then
to
you
make.
take me to a pork restaurant.
Yeah. Well, I'm pleased to say that this is in fact
No longer practiced.
no longer practiced.
goodness.
It wasn't that long ago that it was still widely used. And they say that the flavor of the meat was exceptional.
The way that most Koreans eat it is they take a piece of lettuce.
Right.
In here if you want.
Okay.
And they
follow
normally
you.
break the kind of end of the stalk off.
Yeah.
It's more bitter part. And then this
And that's-
is where you take a piece of pork and you can add any of the side dishes that you like. So maybe some white kimchi would be nice.
Okay.
Catherine, you have to have
yeah.
a garlic in that.
Thank you.
Got it?
Yeah.
감사합니다.
Okay. So a little bit of this goes on.
Yeah.
Right. Garlic, and you said the white
Kimchi.
kimchi.
Toge.
and then you wrap it all up.
And did you put onion in as well, or is that
You
it?
can if you want to.
Yeah,
I'm not a big raw
stick,
onion.
yeah. Stick to that. And then you wrap it all up.
The question is space.
Because Korean style, you have to put the whole thing in your mouth.
Oh!
They don't. It's kind. Is it rude? I think.
Right, okay, off you go.
And then hold a conversation.
So good.
Isn't it lovely?
So good. It's so interesting to see how Koreans eat pork, and I have to say it's incredibly tasty, but it'll be really interesting to see how much you enjoy the Irish pork when we cook it later.
We're looking forward to it.
After a busy day, it's time to get back to Peter's home to teach him how to recreate Grainne's apricot and chestnut stuffed pork with root vegetable mash, roast potatoes and apple sauce. Peter's dinner guests have arrived, and it's time to find out what the locals make of this very Irish recipe.
So now,
So Sunida.
what do you think? Grainne asked
Good.
me to bring you something very special from Ireland. Wow. This is Grainne's pork.
Wow.
And we're training Peter in so that he can make it for you every time you come.
Stress money about us. The stuffing is gorgeous. I could eat the stuffing on its own.
More, please.
Yeah. I hope there is more. Tony's first question was, is this sea urchin?
Did it taste like home to you?
It did. I'm a little nostalgic thinking about what we're missing.
So I don't know how you managed to recreate it with what we have here, but yeah. Sorry, Mum, it was probably better than home.
This is not food, this is art.
For dessert, I've taken inspiration from the things I've tasted and created a recipe of citrus cakes with green tea, ginger and lime-infused syrup with halabong orange segments. Firstly, add butter and caster sugar to a bowl and cream them together. Once the texture becomes fluffy, add in your eggs and beat them in. Fold in the flour, baking powder and some lemon zest. Add a slice of orange to the bottom of the individual tins. Fill the tins about 2/3, allowing room for the cakes to rise, and put them in the oven. For the syrup, add green tea, lemon juice, lemon zest, caster sugar and ginger to a saucepan. Bring to the boil and simmer for about 10 minutes. Once the cakes are baked, drizzle the green tea infused syrup over them. I'm serving them with some halabong orange segments and a sesame leaf as garnish. They look amazing, but how do they taste?
Wow, look at that. You can see when you're cut into the cake and then all the juice comes out. It's absolutely delicious.
And one of our guests has decided to try the cakes Korean style.
But one thing we wouldn't do in Ireland is wrap the dessert in a leaf.
The sesame leaf. Yeah.
In Ireland, any green that comes with dessert is decoration. You leave it behind. It's like you say, it's art. Well, thank you so much for having us in your home. We've taken over, and thank you for taking so much care of us.
Oh, it's been
both
an
of you
absolute
showing us
pleasure.
round and
pleasure.
everything. I hope we've brought a little taste of home for you too.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Thank you. Peter has very much enjoyed his taste of home, and he's going to be there for another few hours, so it's time for me to take off.
Next time on Taste Like Home, I'm bringing a dish from Ruski in Roscommon to Vancouver.